West Coast King, and welcome to, I guess it's the video where we're going to decide the new series on this channel. And I'm going to throw some ideas out there. I want your guys' feedback in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the ideas, which one you'd like to see me go with, as well if you have a team in mind that you'd like to see me use within one of these ideas. Also let me know, because a lot of times I don't have a specific team in mind that I want to use. I kind of let you guys decide the team. The popular vote usually wins that one. So if you do have an idea for a team, also leave it in the comments below. So let's get into it. So we just wrapped up an MLS Career Series, and like I said at the end of the last episode, it was one of my favorite series that I've ever done. I really enjoyed it, especially the Orlando City part. It really felt like a very solid series, and sometimes you do series and they don't work out as well. I know the Tigres one only lasted a year, but it felt like it dragged on forever, and I wasn't enjoying that one as much. Had nothing to do with the team or the league or anything like that. It just didn't feel like it hit with you guys, you know. It just didn't feel like you guys were connected with it as much. The Orlando series was much different. It really felt like we were together on it, and you kind of had the same ideas as I had going forward with it. So I really liked that one. But do we want to stick with the MLS? Do we want to stick in the MLS and do another MLS series? We just spent 4 seasons in the MLS. Would you like to see another MLS series? Now, if we stay in the MLS, it could be that we just pick a different team, restart, and use the same rules, because the rules seem to work really, really well with the designated players and things like that. We could just start over from scratch from season 1 with a new team. That's always an option. Now, another way to stay in the MLS but not do another series just like the one we just did was to change the rules up a little bit while not messing, like moving teams around or anything. Just do an MLS series, changing the rules a little. Or we could do something where we do move teams around, combine a couple of leagues. I was thinking MLS, Liga MX, the Argentinian League and the Chilean League, all the leagues that are in North, Central, and South America, combine them into one and kind of have a League of the Americas type of a deal where we have the best teams from each of those leagues go at it in a league of its own. That might be pretty interesting, though. I would, if I did that, I would want a league, put them in a league where there is a top flight and a second flight, so we can have more teams rather than just maybe 20 of the best, because a lot of teams will get left out if we did that. I like to get more teams in, so I'm not really sure how that would work. I would have to work out the logistics of that, but that could be an interesting idea. Now, like I said, we just finished an MLS career, and maybe you're looking for something else. Maybe you don't want to see the MLS again. Maybe we move something, do something completely outside of the MLS, leave the MLS alone, completely distance ourselves from it for a series. And maybe if you just want to see me do a generic series with another team, that's fine as well. I'd be up for that if it's the right team. If you want to see that, let me know what team you think would be a good idea to use in the comments below. But, you know, there's a lot of generic career modes out there, and I'm not sure if I want to do one of those. Again, if it's the right team, maybe, but I have a better idea in mind for a career mode outside of the MLS. Now, I've been working on this big idea for a new career series, and I've been working on it, I can tell you the exact date, since May 1st. That was when I put out a video called How to Change Career Mode, or something like that along those lines. I put that out May 1st. And my idea in it, my biggest idea for change, was a prestige system where you institute some kind of a system to show what your club and all the clubs in the game mean on a world stage, and what their prestige is worldwide, and how important their club is inside the world of football. And I have figured out a way, I think. I've been working on this for almost 2 weeks. I think I finally figured out a way to implement that system into FIFA 16 for at least a club that I do. I wouldn't be able to show every club's prestige. That would take way too long, and changing their numbers and everything like that would just be an absolute nightmare to do by myself. Again, if FIFA implemented this, or EA implemented this into FIFA, in FIFA 17, they could do it, you know, easily, and you know, sort out the points all by themselves. It wouldn't be that hard for them. But for me, I'd have to focus just on the prestige of my team. And I really do think I've worked out a system that would really, really work. It would be very unique. I don't think there's a career mode out there like this where we have a prestige system. We start with a team. Obviously, I would like to do a Road to Glory series with this. Start out in a lower league, preferably England, because I think it would work best in this, because they have more than just the top flight and second division. They have 2 and 3 below that, so or 3 and 4 below that. So I think England would work best for this system. I know there's a lot of career modes out there in England, but still, I think it would work best for this career mode. But I really think that this series could be really, really unique and a lot of fun, and very, very interesting to take a team that doesn't have a lot of world recognition, or maybe a team that's fallen down a little bit, used to be really high in prestige, not so anymore and try to bring them back up. It wouldn't be a very fast series either. It would have to be committed to a pretty long series because obviously, in real life, raising your prestige of your team doesn't happen overnight or over 2 or 3 seasons, which is the typical length for a career mode. It would take longer than that, I think. So it could be an interesting idea. And honestly, we could use any team in Europe, obviously, if we wanted to do this. If we wanted to do it in Spain with a second division team or the Bundesliga or any team like that. But the series that I had specifically in mind for this series was a Newcastle United series, and I wanted to wait to kind of do this until I knew for sure that Newcastle was going to get relegated, and I'm pretty sure they are now. I don't know if it's 100% certain or if they're right on the brink of it, but I just don't think there's a way back for them now. I'm pretty sure they're going to go down, and I wouldn't even start them off in the championship. Actually, my idea for this series, I'll just kind of give you a general idea of what my idea was I was going to kind of put a story behind this whole series with Newcastle where they went down to the championship, and they had this whole ownership change and a new philosophy brought in. They sell off all of those players that a lot of Newcastle fans don't like, such as Mitrovic, and I don't want to pick only on Mitrovic here, but I mean, a lot of those players just are not getting it done. The players aren't connecting with them. If they believe that those players are just not playing well enough for Newcastle or not playing hard enough, not committed to the team like they should be. So they completely strip those players out. They drop down another level into League One, and that is where we would pick up this series 1 season in as well. We wouldn't start off right at the beginning of the new season. We'd start a season in just because I need a little bit of time to build up a little bit of youth academy there, and we would start off in the 2nd season of the career series, and their prestige by that time would have dropped down. Going down 2 leagues in 2 seasons would drop their prestige down quite a bit, and it would be up to us to raise them not only back to the Premier League, but also once we get there, raise their prestige up enough to the point where we can be one of the biggest teams in England, and then target Europe and the Champions League as well. I think it'd be a really fun series. We would rely heavily on the way the prestige system works. We would rely heavily at the beginning on youth players. We'd see them grow up a little bit. Once we get the prestige up to a certain level, we can start buying bigger name players, which would help the squad. I think it's a really in-depth kind of a series, and it's one that I'd be really excited about. Obviously, we don't have to do Newcastle. We could pick a team that's already in League One. I was experimenting, I think Blackpool's in League One. I was experimenting a little bit with them for this idea as well. It's another team that could work, but really, any team in the two lowest leagues in England would really work well for this series. So those are the best ideas I have right now, and I've seen some other ideas from you guys in the comments of other videos, of my videos, giving me some different ideas for career mode series, such as, I know there was one that was talking about using, I think exclusively players like under 23 or under 22 or something like that. I can't remember exactly, sorry, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I did see that, and I did look like an interesting idea. I'm not sure how far we could get with a series like that. Eventually, we would have to go into a youth system anyway, because just you would have to get players that weren't real, because you would run out of players like that eventually. And just because I haven't used that exact idea doesn't mean that I haven't implemented it and used ideas kind of similar to that in the different series ideas. So I take all of the comments into consideration, and I might take bits and pieces of a different series ideas and implement it into something else. So I appreciate all the comments. I'm looking forward to seeing what your guys' reaction is to this, and some different suggestions and team suggestions and things like that. So that's going to be it for this one. I do look forward to hearing from you guys, and I'll see you later. See ya.